Welcome to the 48 Laws of Power Strategy Study. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Okay, so whatever options you give people, you need to make sure that they come out in your best interest. Make sure that you're getting what you want with the cards that you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give your targets a choice. So if you give people options, they're gonna think that you're giving, that you're noble, you're trustworthy. Okay, they're never gonna suspect that you're up to something possibly deceitful or looking out for your own best interest. If you give them options, they're gonna feel like, oh, they're giving me options, they must be very kind, they must be very trustworthy. Your victims will feel as if they are in control, but are actually your puppets. Okay, so it says in the book that by giving out options, people feel like they have a sense of choice, a sense of freedom. They don't suspect that every option you gave them will come out in your favor. Okay, they think you're just being a good person. Words like freedom, options, and choice invoke a power of possibility far beyond the reality of the benefits they entitle. So, when you use words like freedom, when you use words like options, when you use words like choice, people think that what they're getting is a whole lot better than what they actually get. Okay? Because freedom means something to people. All the choices, people feel like, wow, I have so many choices, I have so many options, I have all this freedom. It feels good to them. So make sure that you're using those words. And a little tip, if you want to be more persuasive, if you want to gain more power, go ahead and look like the most persuasive words. It's like new, discover, you, benefit, guaranteed, freedom. These words you can use in your speech. You can use them in your writings, your text messages, your captions. You can use these words to gain power. Use fear and terror on the weak. They are the easiest to control by controlling their options. So, we're going to get into what it shows in the book, different ways to control the options. Some of them are similar, and it goes along with what I just said. So, coloring choices is basically the same as the weak man precipe, or I think that's what it says. I'm not sure what that word says, but basically the same thing. And all these are kind of the same. So, coloring the choices, and then the option for if people are weak. So, coloring the choices is giving a person above you a master. Like, let's say a president. In the story, it talks about a president. I think it was President Nixon or something. But basically, he had a right-hand man. That right-hand man was controlling what he did by giving him the options only he wanted to. So color the choices. Make everything the color you want it, the way you want it. Give these options because you want one of these options, okay? But your master, feels like they're in control because they're like, oh, okay, they prepped these options for me, cool, but I'm the one in control because I'm deciding. So, and then with weaker people, you just do it with more force, more aggressive when the options. This option you have to take. You're gonna have to take one of these two. Trial lawyers use it a lot. We're actually gonna get into that in a minute. So actually, I'll just go into that right now. The horns of dilemma. So trial lawyers, like if someone's on the stand, the trial lawyer's like, oh, were you here at 6 o'clock or did you not get there until 7 o'clock? Let's say it's a crime scene, okay? He's only giving you two options, but both, if you admit to either one, you are saying that you were there. Get it? So give the options that are going to make people go where you want. That's called the horns dilemma. Give the options that poke holes in people's stories. Do not give them time to think, hey, were you there at 6 or 7? Hey, do you want to be there at 6 or 7? Is 6 or 7 better for you? Give them options that work good for you. So, altering the playing field. There's a story in the book about Rockefeller, who owned oil companies. He was thinking, like, how can I take over these other oil companies? Instead of going and buying them directly, what he did was buy the railroads, which transported their oil. Then he was able to say, hey, you know what, you want to use these railroads? We're going to charge you these fees. And it just runs the other people out of business because they can't pay the fees. Therefore, he controls all the oil in an indirect way, in a slick way, by buying up the railroads, the transportation. So that's called altering the playing field. You're battling with someone, how can you alter the playing field to gain an advantage? Brothers in Crime strategy is attract your victim to a crime scheme and create a bond of blood and guilt. So, do something bad together. Maybe I'll steal something from the store. Then you're guilty, and if you shed blood, that would obviously be like you hurt someone. Maybe you and your friend beat someone up. Then you would shed blood together. You feel that bond through, oh, you've done something bad. You all are keeping a secret for each other. You feel that bond. So that's another way. Those are the ways that the specific strategies that you can use to get control options and get people to do what you want them to. So, like I said, on the horns dilemma, it's like with a bull. If it's charging you, if you go left, you're going to run into a horn. If you go right, you're going to run into a horn. Because the bull's giving you the two options. Go this way, go that way. But I'm going to get you either way. So that's what you want to do. You want to give out options for people to move and get them either way they go. And you need to watch out for that when people are doing that to you, because people will do that to you too. So the reversal says the main purpose of this is to hide your actions of power and punishment. So passing out these options, giving these options, it hides your power and punishment, because you don't want to directly use forceful. It's rarely wise to show direct and forceful power. So like beating someone up or just yelling at them, you'll be like, hey, you know what, I understand you. Instead of getting mad, right there, you're like, I understand, here's these options. You can go here, you can go here, you can go here. It makes you seem more graceful. It makes you seem more relaxed. It makes you seem more in control. It makes you seem friendly, even though you could be doing something that's actually hurting them. So sometimes controlling options limits your ability to spy and gather important info. So it was talking about a Rothschild banker back in the day. He didn't like to give out options because it limited how the people that he was watching, whether it be his enemies or like his company, it limited how they move. He wanted them to move freely, how they wanted to move, so that he could see what their strategies are, so he could see what their habits are, and that really allowed him to gain a lot of control. So yeah, that's Law 31. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share this, get notified, do whatever you got to do, and make sure that you're controlling all the options, getting others to play with the cards that you deal.